Let's talk about white privilege. What exactly is white privilege? White privilege is defined as whites, actually, just to be blunt, white privilege is basically discrimination toward blacks in the justice system, in employment, and how the media treats them, and walking down the street, the media perception, basically because blacks have usually have a disproportionate negative perception in society, and blacks are discriminated or racially profiled to a greater extent in negative ways. Whites have privilege. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. That's what white privilege means. Now talking about white privilege, can anti-racists say that white privilege is the cause of black-on-black crime, low academic achievement in the black community? No, they can't. You want to know why? Because academic achievement, cannot be based upon what the majority thinks of you, or based upon, prejudice or what have you. It has to be low academic achievement is based upon. I'm saying in particular the African American community is based upon how it values education. It starts with the black community. Now, does that mean we should ignore racial bias in employment between equally qualified blacks? No, it does not. But that is not the systemic root of low academic achievement among blacks. It's not what white people in the suburbs think of blacks. And now people are going to say that I'm freaking a conservative, right-wing conservative, and blaming the victim. No, I'm not. But I cannot continue to go along this notion that what white people comment about black people, if white people are surprised that they're black engineers, that is causing low academic achievement. That is causing low IQs. No, it is not. It is not. Because if it is, then blacks don't have a very thick skin. And yes, people are going to say the media, well, how the media portrays, and the media is focused on rap. People are going to blame rap music. Well, first of all, rap music is not intrinsically making people have low IQs. It is the value, it is the viewpoint of education and academia. You can have a high IQ and be a rapper. You can have a high IQ and look so-called gangster. It's not a look. It's not rapping. It's not basketball. It is how blacks view academic studies. As a whole, there's some individual blacks that value education, but as a whole, blacks in America, disproportionately value education less than whites and Asians, and that is reflected upon the IQ. It's not white people, it's not white racism, it's how we value education. Now people say, well, if white people are going to keep discriminating, then maybe that's giving us not the confidence to go and pursue education. Well, that's kind of a crutch, because even though blacks generally are on the lower end of academic achievement, we see blacks succeed in America. We see blacks that get jobs in legal fields, in scientific fields, in engineering fields, and in business fields. Plenty of blacks, enough blacks for those blacks who are not achieving to think that they can achieve. Here's the thing. This stuff about affirmative action, job discrimination means absolutely nothing, because we do not have even close to a proportionate, close to me, a valid qualified application pool to even, to make job discrimination the #1 priority. Okay. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a sociologist. I can't sit there and solve the problem of black academic achievement. But I can tell you that if you continue to look at whites and how whites feel about blacks, and if whites do not, white managers do not feel that black managers can make it, and we continue to have the disproportionate amount of lower qualified blacks in the applicant pool, you'll continue to have the same pattern. That's my belief. I mean, yes, you can sit there, yes, you can do studies which does show racial bias between two equally qualified applicants. That is a reality. But still, the reality is that we still have a disproportionate amount of lower qualified applicants. That's just a fact. It's not a lie. It's not a white conspiracy. That's dumb. You think whites just want to, we just want to have a bunch of dumb niggers, so they need the resources. Okay? The more qualified blacks, the better it'll be for the economy. If they don't, yes, there's a problem with, a white or black has this closed-minded perception that blacks are not equally qualified. That's a problem in and of itself, but that does not take away from the major issue that we do not have a substantial or representative amount of qualified applicants in. I'm not talking about all job fields, because in some job fields blacks do very well in representing. Okay, but we're talking about science, engineering, in those fields, doctor fields. Yes, there's blacks that are succeeding. Yes, but it's still not as a respectful sample of qualified black applicants, and that can't come from whites. You can't go to white suburbs and ask whites, well, if you think of them. You got to start that. You got to start that movement within the black communities themselves. The valuing of education, and that is why I tell the white race realist hereditarians that this discussion about hereditary biological differences means absolutely garbage to me until we see some type of respectable effort relative to whites and Asians in terms of valuing education. That's it in a nutshell, guys. Those are the facts to me. I'm not here to give you an ideologue opinion. I'm here to give you the facts how I see them. So, have a nice day.